How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Wedding entertainment is one of the biggest things that you're going to be hiring. And today we are going to be talking about DJs, MCs, and wedding entertainers. How's it going, everyone? My name is Frank Perez with Elegante Entertainment. And we at Elegante Entertainment make sure you guys have a wonderful event, play some good music, and that all your guests are entertained and having a good time at your event. Today I am joined by my friend DJ Gman.
Hey, good morning everyone. Good morning to all community from Houston. I'm DJ Gman from Excellence Entertainment, as well as DJ Francisco. We are one of the most entertainers company, the best, I will say not the best, but one of the great companies that we make sure that your event is wonderful, and also we make sure that you and your guests have a great time with us. Anyways, good morning, Francisco. How are you today?
We're doing good. We're getting started. We are just going live right now. We're going to allow a few seconds for people to connect, and in the meantime, make sure you guys like and comment on this video. Let us know where you're calling or where you're listening from or viewing from. Also, if you have any questions for DJs, this would be a great time to start thinking of your favorite questions. Our show's main focus is to try to help people that are about to hire a DJ or already have one and maybe have a few questions. Today we're going to cover how to hire a DJ and what are some of the responsibilities of the DJ.
Exactly. Anyway, so our purpose here is to actually, if you have anybody, a friend of yours, a buddy of yours that it's getting married or having a big event soon or probably next year, our main point here is just to make sure that you guys are going to actually hire the right DJ and make sure that we are going to be the actual person that it's going to make you and your friends or your family members or your guests, everyone to make sure that they're going to be having a great time. And actually, this is we would like to know, or actually once you make that phone call, then make sure that this is your actual DJ that is, you know what I mean? Like, yes. I feel like you're going to have confidence that this is the right DJ for your event.
Correct.
You know? That first phone call is actually like the actual line that it gets attached together between DJ and customer.
Exactly. So we're going to review a few suggestions that we have for you guys as you are getting ready to hire your DJ. What are some of the top 5 questions that you can be asking your DJ? And what are some of the responsibilities that pertain to your DJ? Exactly. So right now we have a few people that are watching us. We're going to go ahead and say a few shout outs. We got Mike Mireles joining live. He's been requesting an English podcast for just a few moments for some time.
For a few days already. But now we have our
first English podcast.
English. That is correct.
Okay.
English.
So he's starting out with a pretty good question. So Mike Mireles is asking, I have a question. What makes your company different from others? What is your brand and genre of music you play? Okay, so that's a really good question, Mike. And, we all have our styles when it comes to DJing. Not only DJing, but also representing the guest. And the reason he's asking this is everybody's different. We all have a different way of working, way of attending the client. Obviously, the music that we use may be the same, but the way that we play the music and mix it is going to be different from one person to the other. So
that is correct.
Also, what he's trying to ask, Mike, what sets us apart, and a lot of the times what sets us apart is the love that we have for the customers and getting to know the customer in order to give them exactly what they're looking for. So we ask a lot of questions, get to know them, and then based on what they answer, we give them the event that they're looking for.
And you know what? Not only the love that you have for your customers, also the love that you have for the work you do.
Oh yeah.
And that's another thing. If you have passion for what you do, most of us, some people that just go out there and play music, make announcements if they have to. Some DJs don't even make announcements. They just want to play music, play music and back to back. Yeah. So it depends on what the way you see it. If this is something that you really love to do, tell me. I would like to know how many people here get paid to
DJ to do their love.
Exactly. If you love to DJ and if you love to get paid for being a DJ, I think it's something amazing.
It is, exactly. We have a few more people joining us. We have Josh and Carlos Ramirez. Carlos is a DJ Charlie. Okay, we got another question from Mike. How do you guarantee you will play the day of my event or wedding? Do you have backup DJs available? That's actually one of the questions we have. We were just talking, Gman and I, before we went live, and that's a very, very important question. You definitely want to make sure you ask your DJ that, whoever you're hiring. One of the biggest things that is unknown is what's going to happen the day of the event to guests, to your professional vendors, and to your friends and family that are going to be going there.
That is correct.
If an accident happens on the way over there, what is the backup plan, and is there a backup plan? That is a tough question because it can happen. It's not likely to happen, but it can happen. So you want to know as a client, what's the backup plan on that? And like I said, that's one of the things that Gman and I were talking about right now.
Concerning. So, yep.
What we do have, as you can tell from our viewers, is a lot of our viewers are DJs. So we have a network of DJs that we connect with, including DJ Ivan Colmenares, DJ Mike Mireles, and we also have a group chat where we communicate, help each other out as DJs. So if anything were to happen, and it has happened before, where I just see on the chat, last minute, even if it's not us, even if it's somebody else, we'll get, Ivan will put something, hey, I got a last minute cancellation from a DJ, the brightest last minute looking for a DJ today. The event starts in 4 hours. Who can make it there? And we usually have a few people that are ready to go the day of the event, and they shoot out and take care of the event. That's happened quite a few times, right?
Exactly. And basically, it's not that the DJ is canceling out. Maybe he had an emergency. Had
an accident.
Family emergency. No matter what, we are all human beings, and we may have a emergency.
Something comes up,
yeah. I mean, like I said, maybe a flat tire or something that you can fix on the spot.
Exactly.
If you have an accident, if your car is total, that's really something that you can't really.
You're nothing.
I thank God because it hasn't happened to me yet, and
same here.
Cross my fingers not to happen. But you never know. A flat tire is something that you can fix on the spot. But if you have family and your family have an emergency, then that's the thing, And sometimes our customers, or sometimes the people, are expecting you to be there. Yeah. But unfortunately, some customers, some people will understand because you had an emergency, but some people won't.
Yeah,
unfortunately.
And now that you say that, and that did actually happen to me one time, where when my grandma had cancer, I had to, on her last days, I had to actually not show up for one of my events, and DJ Ivan was happy to take the reins and go and DJ the event. So I did forget about that. That did happen one time, and like I said, we have a network of DJs that we can work with as professionals. So that's one of the questions that you definitely want to ask your DJ. Mike Mireles, great questions, Mike. What is your experience and education in the DJ industry? Okay, that's another question you definitely want to ask your DJ. That's a really, really good question. As you can tell, Mr. Mike Mireles has been in the industry a while. He's got a lot of experience. He's got these questions, I'm pretty sure, before. And sometimes people don't ask these questions, so we want to encourage you to ask them. I myself usually take training in the form of MC training. I've also done Toastmasters training, and I've done what's the other one? Oh, just the professional process, how to be professional, do more of a professional, organized, and staying ahead of schedule on a lot of things.
Yeah, exactly. Being organized is actually that talks a lot about you.
Yeah,
because if you're not organized on a timeline, or organized how you're gonna talk, how you're gonna approach to your audience, that's another main thing. How you express your words. If you're actually cursing on the microphone.
Yeah. So definitely being organized is a big key, because after all, we're in charge of quite a few things the day of your event. It can be from the ceremony. It can be for the introduction of the bridal party, introduction of the bride and groom, introduction of the guests that are going to be speaking. You're going to want to be in charge of knowing how to actually connect your equipment, and in case something happens, you got to know how to quickly get to it.
Exactly.
Also, the music that is going to be played, you want the first dance, father, daughter. All those songs have to be in order already ahead of time in your computer and ready to go.
And that's why you actually set up meetings with your clients, unless they can't meet with you because they're busy doing some other things. But this is something that me personally, I rather meet with them at least 2 weeks prior to make sure that we are going to cover every single topic about their wedding,
exactly,
what kind of music they want. Like I said, the most important things to me are like the first dances, introduction,
formal dances,
and all that good stuff.
That's it. So yeah, that's definitely a question you want to ask, as Mike is still sending in some great questions. I want to send a shout out to my wife who's watching, Yolanda. Luis, he owns a photo booth company, he's also watching, and my good friend Jason Garcia from he's also a DJ. He's been doing it for a long time. Mr.
Awesome.
Jason, shouts out to you. Thanks for watching. And so next question from Mike, we have, are your prices the same all year round? During the week or weekends, do your rates change?
Now, let me ask Mike this question. Sorry to interrupt, Francisco.
No, go ahead.
Now, Mike, now that you're asking, are your prices the same throughout the week, weekend, or whatever? Ask me about when you go to Guitar Center and purchase a speaker that has maybe a special going on that day, but do you think it's going to be something that you may... the price is not going to change at all.
The price is not going to change.
Now, is your work going to change because it's a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday? You still got to carry the same type of equipment unless you have a huge event and it's going to be more equipment. So tell me about it. Is that going to be the same price?
Definitely the equipment that you're going to take is going to affect the price.
Exactly.
It might change a little bit during the week, but not a lot. Only because it's not as popular or as requested as other days. But for the most part, we're still doing the same work for the same time, getting there a couple of hours early, setting up and leaving and playing the same amount of time. So
basically, yes.
If it changes, it's going to depend from person to person, but most of the time it's going to be around the same price.
But let's hear from Mike Mireles what the question is.
What's your answer, Mr.
Work-wise, you are still doing the same thing no matter how much you're getting paid, right?
So we got my cousin David from Fort Worth.
Okay.
I'm sending a shout out to him. Mm-hmm. He has a question. Do you guys provide service out of town? Dallas, Austin, San Antonio. And I personally have been to Dallas and Austin and San Antonio quite a few times.
Okay.
We do charge, depending on what it is, we do charge for the travel fee and the lodging, but yes, we do definitely provide services out of town. We
exactly. I have been a couple of times into Louisiana as well.
Louisiana,
it's like I'll say maybe like a 6-7 hour drive.
And I've been to Arkansas and Oklahoma.
So, okay, nice. Yeah, I haven't been out in Arkansas, but I have been in San Antonio, Austin, and also Dallas. Like I said, Louisiana, it's been like the most because there's like, you know what, those little towns that I usually go to in Louisiana, they don't really have many DJs out there.
Oh, they don't? Yeah.
And even though if they try to hire a DJ nearby, they'd rather call us here in Houston because we have been opening marketing out there.
Yeah, it's a smaller town, so they want to see something different, something more innovative. And
if you get to go to Louisiana, be careful. There's a lot of police out there, especially the casinos.
Yeah, for sure.
And another thing, you may not want to stop by the casino once your gig is over because you're gonna lose all your money out there.
So we have an answer from Mike Mireles. It's a really good answer.
Out loud, please.
So as far as prices go, he's saying his prices do change in May, December, New Year's Eve, holidays, and midweek gigs. So
awesome.
So that's one of the points I was saying. Depends on the
season?
Availability and how many people are requesting. So like December is probably like the biggest season of the year for us. We have a lot of corporate parties. We have weddings still going on, quinceañeras. So it builds up. So obviously the price, because of the request for DJ, it does go up slightly.
Yeah.
New Year's Eve is like the big ticket item of the year. Some people don't want to work New Year's because they want to spend it with their family.
Exactly.
So if they do work, they're going to require a bigger compensation for their time. And it's usually going to be quite a hefty, double or triple what you would normally pay for the DJ, because, that's the time where you're going to spend with your family.
Exactly. It's quality time.
I've done, I think, 5 years in a row, New Year's, and I think I'm pretty much done with that. Because what you see is a lot of people celebrating, and then New Year comes around, and then they go hug their family, and you're usually the only one.
Our Hispanic tradition is like right when the clock hits 12 o'clock on New Year's, we all give each other a hug.
Yeah, hug.
And that's and a hug and a kiss and
so if you're surrounded by a whole bunch of people you don't know, then they're eventually gonna. Yeah. They don't remember you till the end until you start playing. So hey, we forgot to give a hug to the DJ.
Yeah, exactly. Hey,
you do miss your family in those days. I for myself, speaking for myself, I do.
So do I. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so he's asking, do we charge extra for ceremonies? Mike is so for the most of the part, we have prices for the reception and for the ceremony, and we do charge extra for the ceremony because we have to, obviously it's going to be more time or separate time from the reception. We got to take more equipment, and we got to set it up and everything, so it does require an extra charge. Some DJs already have a package built in with the ceremony already included, so it's already built into the price. But so not everybody needs a ceremony, so we do have separate pricing for the DJ and separate pricing for the ceremony, as well as a package with the ceremony, specifically for weddings.
And sometimes people requested like extra equipment, like extra microphones. Also, if they're gonna.
That's actually a pretty good point, because they think, okay, we can just connect right to the mixers, to the DJ's mixer.
Yeah,
and that's not the case, because we would need a separate mixer.
Exactly.
To connect to the mixer. So it does require more equipment, again, more setup time, more cables.
More cables, exactly.
So it's a good question to ask your DJ. If you're going to need 3 microphones, then most DJ mixers cannot accommodate.
Cannot handle that.
No,
yeah.
You need a separate mixer.
You need a separate console, basically, like a console that they use for live bands, like that will have inputs for so many, like more than 5 or 6 microphones at once.
Correct.
Another question that I've been asked is like, okay, I'm going to have someone come out there and play the cello, a guitar, a piano. Yeah. And so I'm like, okay, well, if you have someone that is going to be doing that, like live performance, let us know. That way we need to be ready with a little extra console to actually have the inputs.
Yeah, because most DJs mixers can only take 1 or 2 separate microphones or connections.
Right, but this is microphones. But your DJ actual turntables are not going to be able to handle. Provide audio for a piano.
So that's when you bring the separate one, the bigger one with more inputs.
Exactly,
and that's why we need to charge more. So that's actually a really good question, and that's a good comment, Gman.
Exactly. Now, another thing, if we bring somebody, if you are going to have somebody doing live performance, you may want to make sure to ask them they are going to bring their own cables, or do we need to provide the cables? Right. And that's another thing. That's another fee right there, because people say, well, you already have the cable. Can you?
No, most of the time we have the cables that we need.
Exactly.
We don't have
our stuff. We don't have
extra cables for extra connections.
Now remember, guys, we're DJs. We're not sound engineers.
Yeah. So as DJ, and most DJs are not going to know how to connect.
And some DJs are not going to know exactly
how to connect the mixer.
Exactly.
The extra mixer.
For example,
or they won't let you.
True that. Now, for example, like you hire our company, and so we have so many DJs that work with us, but they only know to do certain things, like go play the music, get the crowd going, do their announcements and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
But they're not going to be able when it comes to technical stuff. And this is why we make sure to train our DJs that they are going to know a lot of stuff, not only how to play music, but how to connect or how to resolve a problem if you have something. Because like this past weekend, I had a quinceañera. And so they told me that they were going to bring a piano to perform throughout a certain point of the party. And guess what? They didn't bring the piano.
Oh, wow.
They brought me a guitar, an acoustic guitar. So here I am. I asked the guy, okay, so you're going to perform? Yeah, I'm going to perform right now. Did you bring your cable? He's like, no. Okay. And how do you expect for me to provide sound for you if you don't have a cable? And guess what? Well, I already had everything packed down in my trailer.
Yeah,
but
that's the other thing.
Luckily, I had it outside. So I had to go, okay, well, bear with me for a few minutes. I'm going to go to my trailer real quick and bring you and try to get you a cable. So guess what? I had to put two cables together just to make sure to provide sound for this guy.
Yeah.
And my customer I'll say the customer at the end of the night was so grateful, so thankful for what I did. He's like, and even the guy from the guitar is like, man, this is what actually makes the pro
a pro
from the mediocre.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, it's because you can have the cable, but if you don't know how to connect it, and you said you had to do two, so I imagine you needed an adapter.
Exactly.
You need an adapter because not all the plugs are the same also.
Exactly.
So you need a particular adapter for that.
Exactly. So I had to use an adapter to actually make it from XLR to a 1/4 inch, which it was going to be going from his guitar to the console.
To the console.
And, well, luckily I had the cable with me.
Yeah.
And, well, out of two cables, I had to make one. And so that's another, those are the things that the people are actually not considering.
No, that's something they don't realize.
Well, if you are looking price wise, I can say, oh, it's a Monday, $300, let's do it.
Yeah,
for 4 hours. But what's going to happen? I'm just going to bring 2 speakers, 2 lights,
my
basic stuff,
and
my mixer, and that's it. But then you're like, I need to have a live band or whatever. We don't actually. Really and truly, we don't actually like to have live bands connecting to our system, because what if they blew up a speaker? What's going to happen?
Yeah, and it'll be harder for everybody.
Exactly.
We got more great questions from Mike. Mike, come on. Keeping them coming on.
Bring it on.
This one's a really interesting one. It's a good question because I've had this twice asked. Do you provide female DJs if requested?
Well, not me. They haven't asked me for a female entertainer yet. Or a female DJ, so not yet.
Okay.
But if it comes across, then we're gonna have to think about that. We're gonna have to be calling you, Mike. Do you have any females DJs on?
Yeah, Mike, that would be a good thing to have you as a reference if you do. I have had that question 2 times also, and because I did not have a female DJ, then obviously they had to keep looking. Okay. So that's a great question, and
thanks.
A few people would request a female entertainer because. They might feel more comfortable with her, or for different reasons. There's particular reasons for requesting one. Okay, and then he says, what styles of Latin music do you play? Also, do you play international music? That's Mike Mireles again. Latin music, we play a little bit of everything. The only thing that I'm not fluent on would be Brazilian music. Okay. But out of that, anything from Argentina or Venezuela, Colombia, El Salvador, Honduras, Guatemala, Mexico. So most of those, I've done some Spain weddings, españoles.
Okay, never had one of those before, but
I've done a couple. They normally play music, regular music, and then just add some here and there. Some what do they call them?
Me myself, I wouldn't limit myself as long as I get the music provided. I think we should be good. Last time I had an African party, it was like a birthday party, 50th or something birthday party, and so the coordinator provided music for me. Okay, yeah. So I had everybody going. She's like, okay, play this, play that, and I'm like, okay, I got the music. Let me do my thing. Oh, I was gonna tell you to play the song next. Okay, watch for a second here. So I started going off that playlist, and everybody was having an amazing time. I didn't understand what the music was saying, but hey, I was getting paid to do a job.
I've done a couple Nigerian weddings, and they're usually the same, more very upbeat, a lot of dancing.
Yes,
and they love to dance. So
yeah,
I don't know the music. A lot of the Nigerian music is in English, but even then, I still don't know the music. You know,
exactly.
Like I don't know.
And especially if they have music from different parts of Africa, because like they have little towns here and there. Like, hey, play some from Afghana, something like that. You know, I can't even recall that party, but yeah, I have done quite a few African, Indians, you know, Middle Eastern weddings and stuff like that, which is something nice.
That's a good question to ask your DJ before you hire him.
Exactly.
Okay, so Mike says he does have two female DJs, DJ / karaoke female DJs. So
okay,
it's good to know. Then next thing we know, you have some shout outs for
our people here. Yeah, we have Victor Peña, we have Rumba Tony,
he's
we
been
have
on the show before.
The connected and say good morning, guys. Thank you. Good morning, Piro. Anybody else you want to send a shout out to that you have out there in your list?
No, well, I think we have so far everybody. So keeping on with the theme, we're gonna see. Let's see what we have. We have some of the. So what are the responsibilities of the DJ? Obviously, one of the biggest things is to provide the sound system, the sound and professional quality sound equipment, so that the music can be not only loud enough but clear enough, and have the reliability of being professional, so it doesn't break down.
Another big thing that we love to do on our DJ setup sound system, it's cable management.
Making it look good.
Exactly. You want to make sure that some venues, they don't let us put tape on the floor to actually tape down our cables. But even with that, we have to manage to make sure that our cables are not hanging, are not laying around, and you have snakes all over the floor.
To make it look good, yeah.
Exactly. So that's another responsibility as well. Okay,
so one of the bigger responsibilities is the correct version for the song. So that's one of the things that people don't understand. A song can have 2 or 3 different variations, maybe different singers. So if you just request, hey, I want, for example, Frank Sinatra might sing a song. I think Dean Martin might sing the song, and then we have the newer artists, which like Michael Bublé, who covers a lot of songs from Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, and a lot of those traditional songs. So it's good. You can't just say the name of the song. We need to know the name of the song and the singer. So that's one of the bigger responsibilities that us as DJs have to, make sure we figure out what you guys want.
Yeah. Most of the times we usually ask our customers, okay, you're going to have a playlist. We'll make sure we have the right artist and make sure that we have the correct song. Because, hey, they'll say, can you play Happy Birthday? A Happy Birthday song, for instance. Birthday. Just an example. A Happy Birthday song is played by so many artists nowadays.
In different ways, yeah.
In different ways as well, yes. And some of them may have a cursing word. So you just want to make sure, because you're having a family event, you have maybe little kids out there, you want to make sure that you always do like the clean version. Some people don't mind.
Responsibility.
Some people don't mind, but 99% I will say they do. They're like, oh, please play the clean version.
Yeah, oh yeah. Most of the time.
Especially when you're doing quinceañeras.
Quinceañeras and weddings too.
Yep.
So you got to have the right version for this, if it's a formal song, and the right version for the guest for dancing.
Correct.
So let's see, what else do we have? Oh, so another thing that the DJ should be doing is announcements. The announcements, the grand introduction, the welcoming of the guest, the presentation of the people that are going to be speaking, the everything that has to be done over the microphone. The DJ should be trained to do, especially at a private event. Because if the DJ doesn't do it, then who's going to do it? Then you have to go out and hire somebody, or you got to get somebody that's not professionally trained. And it's really kind of hard to experience something like that because they don't know how to transition from one thing to the other, and they don't know how to actually properly present people and address people. So
yeah, and especially if you have a DJ with a heavy accent. Like my English may not be perfect, but I try to make it as better as possible.
Yeah, so people can understand what's going on.
Exactly. And how your DJ is going to be approaching to the audience. Like, is he going to have the actual, I will say, the right tone of voice? You know what I mean?
Yeah, the right tonalities. Yeah.
And if they don't...
Because it can be boring and low over the microphone. Most people don't have natural speaking abilities. It's something that we have developed over years. Over the years, we've developed the speaking abilities.
It takes training. It takes hey, we have to go to maybe MC classes. We have done so many MC classes and with different groups.
Correct.
And we learn from each other, and this is how we stay together. Yeah, basically.
Yeah, learning and then trying it out in live in a live setting, because the first time you grab the microphone, I mean, I still remember the first time I grabbed the microphone. I was so nervous and it was shaking, and I was actually sweating to where the microphone felt like it was going to fall out of my hand.
Lord.
But over the years, you learn how to not only gather people's attention, but deliver the message that needs to be delivered.
Exactly. And some people are like, can you repeat what you just said, because we couldn't hear you way back there.
So that's two things. Number one, how you hold the microphone, and that might be the quality of the
microphone,
the equipment.
The equipment, that's correct.
Yeah, if the speakers are old and not quality, then
it all depends on how what kind of
so it could be a few things.
But you just want to make sure you have good microphones, good speakers. Make sure that and this is why you need to ask your DJ, or not actually ask, but tell your DJ how big is your venue. How many sound do you need for that venue. And this is why we usually it's not going to be the same price if I take 2 speakers versus
then it takes 4 or 6
or 6 speakers.
And then speakers for the outside if you're going to have music outside.
And if you're going to need an extra speaker to have some, like some people will ask, hey, can you actually provide a speaker to we're gonna have people on the balcony,
outside, or
and you have to run like extra wires and extra
or if it's stuff. 2 rooms in the same building and they want to hear, or there's some buildings that it's like an L, so some people are here and some people are on the other side of the L.
Correct.
So you got to manage maybe an extra speaker.
Provide extra sound regardless. But not just that, but there's another things. There's so many things that you can ask your DJ, but we're trying to cover like the most important ones in here today.
Yeah, some of the basic ones and some of the most important ones. Okay, Mike Mireles, do you provide your current client references? Can the potential client come hear you play? So that's a really good question. If you guys are going to be hiring a DJ, you want to not only take the DJ's word for it, but you also want to maybe follow up with some past clients. That's one of the things he's asking. Or maybe nowadays it's very popular to have reviews on the websites. That can also be a reference, but a lot of people maybe more old school or more traditional probably prefer to call a reference, maybe like a planner. Giving out somebody's number, it's a big you got to have permission from the person, from the prior client. And then because a complete stranger is going to call and say, hey, so how did DJ so and so do for your event, and do you recommend them? So I don't do that, but I know people do.
Me personally haven't come across someone asking me for a reference from another person. Most likely it's been referred by someone that I actually work for, and they're like, well, he's a great DJ. You're not going to regret it.
And so that's where reviews and
recommendations come on.
Recommendations. Maybe a reference can be another vendor, wedding planner, photographer, a venue. So those would be references that I would feel safe giving out. Because I have never asked, hey, can I use you? A client, I've never asked a client, hey, can I use you as a reference? A lot of people would be okay with it, but I just have never done it.
Yeah, exactly. And some people don't actually would like for us to hand out our cell phone.
Their information.
It's a private. It's a private information. Number. So like I said, I haven't come across, but what I usually do, it's I usually record videos on my cell phone. And hey, here I can show you how was this party going?
Yeah.
Here's or you can go to my social media, kind of like Facebook, Instagram. That's what I use the most. And a lot of people are like, oh, I just saw you on Facebook. You know, like this morning I had a text from someone on Facebook. It's like, oh, I'm having a wedding next year, but I just saw you on social media, and I really like what you were doing. So that kind of helps a lot. So social media nowadays is like the biggest tool.
It's a good reference.
Yeah, that's your biggest tool right here.
Okay, so Mike Mireles keeps the questions coming on.
Come on.
Do you provide wireless speakers?
Mike, are you gonna save any questions for
when you show up?
Yeah.
What are we gonna talk about when you come in? Provide wireless speakers. Yes, I have done wireless speaker setup, and it's that's also something you have to know how to technically manage, because any wireless communication can have the possibility of interference and disconnections. So most of the time it'll be line of sight. I have done it at the Briscoe Manor where my sound system is inside, and then if you're familiar with the courtyard at the Briscoe Manor, so that you have the reception, and you have a little room, and then you have the courtyard. So there's a room, there's a couple of walls, an interior wall, an exterior wall, and outside. So obviously I got there early enough to test it out, make sure there wasn't any kind of interference or any kind of dropouts. Now it can change with people getting there. So you have to kind of know your equipment and be comfortable with doing that, because if when people start getting there, it starts cutting off and it starts sounding weird, then you're going to look bad, and your client's going to probably be mad at you. Yeah. So most of the time we try to stay line of sight to where the speaker is here and the receiver is over here, and there's nothing in between. Now that was a shorter distance than usual. So I was okay with putting the speaker in. It worked pretty good.
You will be having a problem if your transmitter is inside, and then your receiver outside, and it's like you say, that's walls in between. I think that's not a good idea. We usually don't like to offer it, unless the client requests. But if it's outside, everything is outside, then you can probably do wireless because it's outside. There's no interference.
Or the other option would be to put a speaker and another computer outside connected directly.
Exactly. Yeah, Bluetooth is like
but where it comes in handy is when you have maybe like this 2 separate rooms and everybody's kind of sharing those rooms. Like I said, there's a venue that is like an L. So it's like that, and then the rest of the people are over here. So then you would need like either a wireless speaker on the corner of the L or all the way on the other side. So you would have to cross them all. Instead of running, 500 feet of cable.
Yeah, exactly. Which is crazy because you have to use a lot of tape on that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And not only that, it's a lot of cable.
Any more questions that Mike may have? You run out of questions, Mike? Pretty much it's all about Mike today.
We have a few more people that connected. We have Sonia and Luis A. Garcia Jr.
Okay.
That are watching live.
Okay. Well, special shout out to you. Thank you for watching.
Let's go back with some responsibilities that we have. Okay, so what about attitude? Attitude is a big responsibility.
That is actually your way of selling. If you have a bad attitude with the customer, even though if your customer has a bad attitude to you, you might want to make sure you keep calm. Because what's going to happen, that customer is just going to go away.
Or just not have a bad attitude.
At all.
Because there's no time for bad attitudes at a party. You're the person that's going to be entertaining. You're the person that's going to be getting people pumped up and ready to dance and have a good time. And if you have a bad attitude, then that's going to be that's going to wear out. That's going to show.
It's going to kill the vibe.
Kill the vibe, and people are going to recognize that you're.
So here's another thing that we had learned that I actually went to school for. It's marketing and customer service. Like I said at the beginning of the show, that first phone call is actually going to be the line attached between the DJ and the customer. If you feel like the DJ is not actually knowing what he's doing, I mean, I don't think it's going to be a good idea to hire that actual DJ, because we're not. I mean, you're not feeling comfortable with your DJ, and we're not feeling comfortable with the client.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but most of the times that's maybe out of 1 out of 10.
Yeah. Well, it depends too on the DJ. A lot of DJs have different attitudes. So
Correct.
when you interview your DJ, you definitely got to do a lot of asking questions,
Resources. Researches.
How do you feel with that person when you're talking to them, when you're interacting with them, and do they have the type of personality that you like? Do they have maybe different personality? Are they outgoing like you wanted? Maybe you don't want them to be outgoing. You want them to be more laid back and, let the event flow. So there's different people with different expectations of the DJ. So, a DJ can be outgoing and a DJ can be laid back, and both DJs are going to be right. It just depends on what you're looking for from your DJ.
Exactly.
Another question from Mike. All right, there we go.
Let's go, Mikey.
Would a client save themselves money to book you directly as opposed to going through a booking agent, promoter, or talent booker? So that's a pretty interesting question. So if you book the DJ through an agency, the agent is going to keep a portion of it. Most of the time, if it's a proper agent, it's going to be a 20% booking fee most of the time. Now, there are companies that have a lot of DJs and in stock, and then those companies are going to vary. Can you book the DJ directly? If it's a hard question to answer, because if you go through the agency and they give you the name of the DJ and then you go book the DJ directly, then
you're putting the DJ on the spot.
Yeah, because most of the time the DJ is going to want to be loyal to the booking agent.
Right.
It's happened because people want to save money and they know that the DJ is getting less money. And so, honestly, that's a question of integrity and ethics. If the DJ does ditch the booking agency, he's probably not going to be working for that agency anymore.
That's going to be his
that's going to be
first
his
and
last
last
event. And then DJs that have been along with that booking agency or that company, they're going to stay loyal to that company because they're giving them more events a year or two, whereas one client is going to give you one event, maybe two, maybe three.
Exactly.
And that agency is going to be giving the DJ 4 or 5 events a month, a week, every so often. So they're definitely going to get more events from the booking agency.
Exactly. And so this is something that you really want to actually keep in mind, DJs, that if you're working for someone else, make sure you're loyal to that person, because if you booked a wedding on your side, but sometimes the client could have called the company and didn't tell the DJ.
They don't tell the DJ. So,
and that's another it's tricky. It's not that I'm saying that it's happening, but it could be something tricky.
No, it happened to me.
Oh, okay. So did they call an agency that you were working for?
And then they call me directly.
And then they called you directly.
But the thing is, the agencies always call you. The company says, "Hey, I have a date for this place. Are you available?" And then they they talk to the client. And so most of the time, I already know. It's like, oh, okay, this is the same place. This is the same date. It's got to be the same person.
It's got to be the same person.
So I tell them, hey, how did you hear about us? And sometimes they'll say, oh, we talked to so-and-so, but we wanted to book you directly. And like, well, you got to talk to them and book through the agency, because, they're the reason you found out about me.
Exactly.
Yeah, but we did our research and we really want you. And so you have to say, I'm sorry, but that's the only way I can book you guys.
Exactly.
Please call so-and-so and then have
integrity.
Have them call ethics.
Me. Yeah. And most likely being loyal, it's a main thing here on this.
Yeah, it's a business of loyalty. It's a business of ethics and integrity.
Ethics and looking good on yourself, because like I said, this is why we don't really like to work for agencies actually, because me personally, I have never done it. So if they call me from an agency and say, hey, would you like to work with us? We're gonna keep you busy. We're gonna me personally, I'd rather not, because it's not because I'm not going to be staying loyal to that person. It's just that I have my own company, and I'd rather book you, Francisco, directly, or vice versa, and we have covered events for each other.
We got to feel comfortable who we work with and represent, and you know, not all agencies are the same.
And make sure that not only represents, but they're going to be doing a great job. You know, you're just not going to hire any DJ and say, hey, well, guess what? I mean, you're representing my company, but then what are you doing throughout dinner? You weren't handing out business cards.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, you gotta
your
whatever
own
you
business cards.
whatever you gotta fill with. Yeah, that's another big thing. So last question, Mike says for now, do you offer a money back guarantee for your services? So if you're looking to hire a DJ, that's a great question to ask. I have had a money back guarantee. It's one of those things that as long as you cross out, you know, 9 out of 10 things, it's not going to happen. But if you take an event and don't do what you say you're going to do, then you should definitely offer a money back guarantee.
Right.
And that's it can be covered because, you know, I say, you know, your guests are gonna be dancing, you know, I'm gonna make sure I make all the right events at the right time, announcements at the right time, and, you know, I'm gonna take the appropriate equipment for your event based on the information you give me. So I can definitely offer a money back guarantee because I know that I can get people dancing, and I know that I'm gonna be doing the announcements as necessary, bilingual announcements, Spanish and English. And, you know, I spent quite a bit of money on my equipment that I had it for long enough to know that it's not going to fail. So if the question does come up, and it hasn't so far, you know, I can say, well, did you guys dance? You know, yes. Did we make the right announcement? Then yes. Did the equipment fail? Then no. Then, you know, there's no reason for a money back guarantee. So,
now that we're speaking about equipment, you want to make sure that all of your equipment is always working
up to date,
and also make sure that if something fell, that you can actually, you know, improvise last minute thing. Like if the speaker is not actually working, make sure you have extra speakers. You know, sometimes I have only taken maybe 2 speakers in my car because it's a small house party, and 2 lights, and guess what? One of the speakers blew up in the previous event, and that's something that actually you need to know how to resolve.
Have backup equipment. Going back to that question, well, you know, that was how does the DJ, what happens if the DJ can't make it? But the other question would be, what happens if a speaker breaks? Do you have backup equipment? That's a good question to ask your DJ, because you know, if the speaker goes out at the middle of the event, then there's got to be usually we have 2, so if one goes out, we're good. You still have the other one. But if both go out, then do you have a backup speaker at the trailer or your truck that you can bring in to, or you know, the computer goes out or the hard drive goes out, do you have an extra hard drive? So backup equipment is a big thing for us. So you definitely got to ask your DJ, does he have backup equipment in case something happens?
Me, usually one time I dropped my hard drive and I was just getting ready to start a quinceañera and drop my hard drive, and then wouldn't pick it up, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And that's where I had all my new stuff. I didn't have a chance to back it up. So man, ever since that, I carry 3 or 4 hard drives on my
definitely. And speaking of backup, one of my good friends, Paul Cantu, is watching. He's a DJ too. He is probably the number one person that I've learned to back up. He has a backup under his console, a backup hard drive plugged into the console.
Okay.
He has 2 or 3 backup hard drives, and then he has USBs with music, and I think he even has an iPod with music. So he has like 6 levels of backing up, and not only that, that's amazing. He's one of the persons that I've learned that backing up is important. So big shout out to you, Mr. Paul Cantu. Thanks for watching. He's saying hello.
Okay, and as far as a backup, you know, like, hey, what happened if your computer goes out?
If the computer goes out, I have another computer.
You have a backup computer. That's awesome. Yeah, and that's, you know, we have to make sure that we solve that problem.
So we have the laptop that you're playing with, and then an extra laptop. It might be older, but you know, it's got music. It's gonna play music, and it's gonna be there. And so that's the reason why I say Paul has a iPod, because if the computer goes out, he can just, If the computer goes out and his hard drives go out, then he has the iPod that he can connect and play some music.
Yeah, and the only thing that it's actually gonna keep us from playing music is gonna be if it rains.
Yeah.
If we're outside on an event and it starts raining, and
then that's kind of hard.
Yeah,
we can't do much about that.
Yes.
Mike Mireles, another great question. Well, before that, let's do Paul. Paul says, that's correct. Thank you. Keep up the great work. Thank you, Paul.
Thanks, Paul.
CDJs, that he does have CDJs, the Pioneer. He has really nice. Actually, what we have right there. Oh, no, okay. Those are the old ones. But
those are the old school ones.
The ones we have right below, but those are the old school. He has the newer version. Mm-hmm. So Mike Mireles says, one last question, amigos. Do you have DJ insurance, and what does it cover?
Great question, Mike Mireles.
So, DJ insurance is something that not every DJ has. So you definitely want to make sure that the DJ has insurance. The reason you want DJ insurance is in case something happens with the DJ equipment, then the DJ doesn't have to go out of pocket for hospital bills or whatever. It just covers accidents, and it has a certain coverage
liability.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So anything, if a speaker falls on somebody, a light falls on somebody, and they go after you, then you got to have some insurance. That's what insurance is for.
Yep.
Not every DJ has it. There are a few venues that require it here in Houston. If you've been a DJ for a while, then you know which ones those are. Mm-hmm. But as far as just having it for the DJ to cover something like that, as a person hiring a DJ, it's a big plus that the DJ has insurance, because if something happens,
now that we're covering insurance, there's another good thing that you would like to mention to your DJ. Make sure you tell him that he's gonna be playing on a second floor.
Oh yeah.
From a venue, and that he's gonna have to carry speakers on his back.
Stairs, yeah.
Yeah. If just in case they don't have an elevator, some venues in downtown they do have elevators. Some of them don't.
Some don't. Yeah.
Yeah, and guess what?
Yeah.
Your DJ is gonna break his back.
Well, not only that, is he's gonna be able to pick up the speakers up there. Some speakers are really big and
heavy.
So if you don't tell the DJ ahead of time, he's gonna get there and say, okay, assuming 95% of the events are downstairs. So we're going to get there, and then all of a sudden they say, oh, no, but you go up those stairs. And you're like, yeah, not with the speakers.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
So then there's going to be a little bit of no, the DJ's going to be like, no, I can't go up there, but you're supposed to go up there. So it's a bad situation for everybody.
That's correct.
We got a couple people connected. Germán Hernández and Jorge Merino. Saludos. Big shout out to you guys.
Yep.
Oscar Gonzalez is also joined. Oscar Gonzalez is a DJ also, as well as I believe he's a retired police officer.
Okay.
So big shout out. Franklin Rocha was connected. Noe Place.
Noe
Place.
Yes,
Noe
sir.
Place. And then David DJ Reggaeton also watching live.
All right, awesome. Well, thanks everybody for your comments.
Definitely. Yeah, Mike Mireles, big shout out to you. Thank you for all the great questions.
Amazing questions. Thank you so much. Yes.
So we are pretty much at the end of our program today. It's usually an hour. If you like the program, give it a like. There's also a little heart. We love those hearts.
Exactly.
If you thought it was controversial, or there's also other faces for that, the crying face and the sad face, or the angry face,
and the angry faces as well.
Whatever your reaction is, we take it into consideration. Also, if you're watching this on the rebroadcast or the rerun, not live, leave your comments, because we are going to get to it. Make sure you like our page, and stay tuned for more great shows.
Exactly. And also please make sure that if you have someone that is looking for a DJ, make sure you definitely want to
get all these questions. Oh yeah, because they're gonna get some great questions.
Exactly.
So that's gonna wrap it up for us today. You guys have a wonderful day, and we'll see you back here next week.
Thank you so very much. Adiós.
¿Lo hice mal otra vez o qué?